What up, everybody? It's your boy, the Kryptonian Saiyan here, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 39. And before I go any further, I gotta say this, man. I really appreciate you guys clearing up in the comment section for me just how fast and how Kuro was moving. So apparently he's not in complete control of himself. He doesn't know how fast he's going, doesn't know who he's cutting, he's just moving. So thanks for clearing that up. Now, for this chapter right here, fairly simple chapter. The fight between Kuro and Luffy is continuing, but that's not the big conflict in this chapter. The stakes get raised when Kaya tells Jango that she will not only write the will that Kuro needs, but she'll sign it in blood and she'll let him kill her as long as he spares the kids, because he's got his foot up against one of the kids' faces. He kicks Pepper all the way across the forest. Jango's being cold-blooded, man. That's what you expect from a pirate. But once again, while I was reading this, you see just like this shit's not done by mistake, man. Like the way that the faces are drawn. And what I mean by that is this, like the whole arc so far, we've been seeing Kaya and Usopp, just the parallels. And it's no coincidence that the last panel that you see is Kaya's face on this page here, right? You see her, she's resigned to her fate, but she's, obviously sweating from exhaustion, but again, she's, willing to go through with this. I mean, you just saw over here writing in the will, like, okay, this would be it for me. However, the first thing we see is that look of panic on Usopp's face. And the reason I wanted to point that out is when you see Kaya in that last panel and now you see Usopp, it shows you how deep the bond between those two runs. Because he knows right away that she's in trouble. Because if you look at how Jango was standing over her, he's got the little blades and everything. However, when you look here, we don't see the blades in that panel. So one can assume that maybe he's still got the blades out. But just for Usopp to make that connection and to grab Zoro's wounds and out of a sense of urgency and tell him hurry up and get to her, very great building right there. Very great character building. I really, really enjoyed that. And we get to see just the fact that, like, Usopp does have some courage, because when it gets made clear that Zoro's not going to get there to Kaya in time, and Zoro, by the way, strong as hell, cuts through a damn tree branch. Not branch, trunk. So, anyway, that's when Usopp takes out his slingshot and he says, secret technique, exploding stars. And if you look at this, like, that's like the artwork right there. It's a little messy, but it's messy in a good way. Because it shows that he just basically took his ass out. And once again, Usopp does something and you got Kaya right there. Like, all this is done on purpose. Very, very great. Again, when you read mangas like this, or when you read stories, you have to pay close attention to where the characters are positioned and where they're positioned when certain characters do things, because it's great foreshadowing. I've got my own theory for why they've been built in a parallel manner, but I have to wait and see what Usopp's role is. I have a very strong feeling he's going to be on Luffy's crew, but I have to see what Kaya's role in the story is going to be, or at least in this arc, before I can get an idea of where this is going. It's too many moving characters for me to get an idea. But this is the thing. Luffy confronts Captain Kuro. When he confronts Kuro, he basically tells him, I'm not going to be a pirate like you. And Kuro is so fucking full of himself. He says, look, there's no way you were going to be like me. And it's because I think he's taking what Luffy says at face value. But what I really enjoyed about Luffy is right here. I know it seems like I'm showing you guys too many panels. I can't put the images up on the screens because I got a flag last time, so I'm having to use the manga volumes. But if you look at this, Luffy's got him completely wrapped up, and the way that he's got his limbs tied around Kuro, it restricts his access. Like, I don't know how many of you guys know much about self-defense and everything, but one of the hardest things to break out of is a bear hug. No, well, not a bear hug. The shit, I cannot remember it. It's you know what I'm talking about, man, where you got like the head tilted forward and you got the pressure on the back of the neck and the arms are lifted up. Very hard to break out at. However, this is what I thought was cool, right? Like when Captain Kuro's men turns on him and they're like, yo, go rubber boy. Luffy stretches his neck back out and he says, hey, who told you you can root for me? And right there, it just shows you that, Luffy is one of those guys who probably respects people that see things through all the way. If that's the case, I can definitely get down with his character because I'm a firm believer in finish what you start, for better or worse. But Luffy, unorthodox, man. He headbutts Captain Kuro, and if you look, that's probably going to finish his ass out because his glasses hit the ground. Every time we've seen Kuro, he's had the glasses on the ground. He's got the blood coming out the side of the mouth and the nose, the impact. I mean, you can tell. Like, this might be it for Captain Kuro right here. And if that's the case, I'm really interested to see the resolution for this. But that's it for this chapter. Like I said, it's just a typical fight chapter. But the big conflict was Kaya, Jango, and Usopp. Really love that. They raised the stakes about midway through this chapter. Great job by Oda, raising the stakes, adding in more conflict. And now, if Jango does get away, Kaya has signed over her fortune. So it'll be very interesting. I know they say until she lives and dies, but that is something to use. So she's not out the woodworks yet, which is why I think that she was in this panel I showed you guys earlier. But that's it for this chapter. My chapter question for you guys, I really don't have one at this point. And I know that's a little odd. I usually give you guys a question for interaction purposes, but I don't have one at this point, man. So feel free to talk about whatever you want in the comment section below. But that's it.